What happens when murder becomes merchandise? What happens when an accused assassin gets treated like a folk hero? What happens when worshipers are gunned down at a house of prayer and half the country only reacts based on whether the victims fit their political narrative? America is not just debating crime anymore. America is debating whether violence is acceptable when the cause sounds fashionable, emotional, political, religious, or revolutionary enough. And that should terrify every citizen who still believes in liberty, justice, and the Constitution. Folks, today we're asking, are we watching justice or turning violence into entertainment? Welcome back to Go Right with myself, Peter Boykin. I'm your constitutionalist for liberty. You can find out more on an article on GoRightNews.com and PeterBoykin.com. And do not forget to check out our music side of the movement at GoRightMusic.com. Now, this is a story that is bigger than one courtroom, bigger than one subject, bigger than one city, and bigger than one political tribe. Luigi Mangione is accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He has pleaded not guilty. A New York judge has now ruled that prosecutors may use the alleged murder weapon and a notebook while suppressing other items from the backpack and some statements because of constitutional concerns around search procedures and Miranda rights. Now, this is how the justice system is supposed to work. Evidence matters, procedures matters, and rights matter, even when the accused is unpopular, even when the crime is horrific, even when people are angry. But outside the courtroom, something darker is happening. Some people are not simply watching the legal process. They're turning the accused into a symbol. Reports out of New York say self-described Mangione supporters received official press credentials, sparking outrage and debate over whether political fandom, online extremism, and media access are being blurred into one dangerous mess. And that is where this story becomes bigger than Mangione. Now, I'm going to tell you first, found out that the CEO wasn't as bad as you thought he was. He was an actual CEO who was trying to save people money, who was literally trying to get more money in people's pockets, to go against exactly what we think these CEOs do. He was a good man that didn't deserve to die. In this case, they killed the wrong man. And now, what they're able to do now is get bigger checks to buy their own private security so they can hop and never deal with the public again because they're afraid of assassination. And that just hurts us. It's like every time the radical people, no matter left or right, get involved, they make it worse for us, not better. They think they're making it better, but they're making it worse. Now, in a constitutional republic, we do not convict people by mob emotion. We do not acquit people because they become internet famous or they're a hot-looking dude. You know, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Luigi's so handsome. Oh, yeah, he can do anything he wants. Really? We do not excuse violence because someone claims it was done against a corporation, a politician, a religious group, or a cultural enemy. The courtroom question is legal. Was the evidence collected properly? Were constitutional rights respected? Can the police or state prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt? And those are serious questions, and they should remain serious. But the cultural question is different. Why are so many people online treating real evidence like a movie trailer? Why are accused killers getting fan clubs? Why are people so desperate for villains and heroes that they forget there are real victims, real families, real blood, and real consequences? And then look at San Diego. Police say 2 teenage gunmen abused worshippers at an Islamic center of San Diego, killing 3 men, and investigators are treating the attack as a hate crime. Now, that should not be a left-wing issue or a right-wing issue. A house of worship should not become a battlefield. A courtroom should not become a fan convention. A political disagreement should not become a permission slip for bloodshed. And this is where America needs to get honest with itself. Because both sides claim to oppose political violence, but too many people only condemn it when the target is someone they like. That's not principle. That's truly tribalism, folks. And tribalism is poison to a free republic. Nationally, this story connects to the bigger question of whether America still believes in law over emotion. Now, state by state, every community is dealing with rising tensions, angry rhetoric, security fears, and people who think going viral matters more than being right. I mean, I saw a video the other day that somebody thought in their bright idea was to take a riding lawnmower and ride it through a target. Of course they were arrested. And they're like, what did I do wrong? I was just making a TikTok. No. Think about that. Before you want to do a TikTok or a so-called viral video, find out, would you normally do this unless you're being recorded? And also, why would you record the crime? Makes no sense. And locally, including in North Carolina and Alamance County, the lesson's simple. Churches, mosques, schools, campaign events, county meetings, and community gatherings all depend on a shared civic agreement. And you can always go back to we live in a society. That's what makes us different than animals, right? We can argue, we can protest, we can expose corruption, we can call out hypocrisy, but we cannot normalize violence. Once political violence becomes entertainment, nobody is safe. Not CEOs, not worshipers, not candidates, not activists, not journalists, not ordinary families sitting in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just ask Charlie Kirk, just ask Donald Trump, just ask plenty of people. Harvey Milk. Political assassinations have been going on for so long, and they're getting worse and worse every day. Now, here's my perspective. The Constitution protects speech. It does not glorify murder. The Constitution protects the accused, but it does not erase the victim. The Constitution limits government power. It does not give citizens permission to become executors. And that is the line America must remember. We can criticize health insurance companies without celebrating assassination. We can defend due process without worshiping the accused. We can condemn hate crimes without turning tragedy into political theater. And we can demand government accountability without cheering chaos. The moment we decide violence is acceptable because we like the target, we have already abandoned the very liberty we claim to defend. Justice must be blind. Liberty must be principled. And lawnmowers must go off behind me and are very loud. But the public order must matter again. Because if America turns murder into a movement, then the next victim will not be chosen by law, it will be chosen by rage. Folks, this has been Go Right with Peter Boykin, the Constitutionalist for Liberty. Please follow the article on this in full coverage at gorightnews.com and peterboykin.com. And again, the music, the podcast themes, the original tracks connected to the movement, visit gorightmusic.com. Social media, I'm on Rumble, Go Right News. YouTube, just look for Peter Boykin, Go Right News. Truth Social, Twitter, everywhere you can. You find me, I'm on BitChute. Follow, like, subscribe, whatever you can. Boost this signal, folks, for me. Stand for liberty. Stand for due process. stand against political violence, no matter who commits it and no matter who tries to excuse it. Go right, stay free, and never let America forget what justice is supposed to be. God bless everybody. Peace.